Man. No. Now the stream should be loading up to go live.
No. Now the stream.
Okay, so my audio is good. Check yours.
Loading up to go live. No.
How about mine?
Now the stream.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
so
I heard flex.
You heard me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear yourself?
Well, I just heard it flex and I figured it was good. Yo. Yo. Yo, yo. Yeah. Yo.
All right. So we're good to go. We are live. Estamos vivo.
That's right.
All right. So
Realmente.
we welcome the Degenerates to the show as always. This is it. This is the last game. One game left, but I got big news for you two fellers.
And we were doing
big
the
news.
flag football game.
What flag football game?
Eli or Peyton, who wins? I thought we was gonna do who wins the.
Oh, you
balloon toss.
want to pick that Pro Bowl game? My pick
Yeah,
is
who's
that.
gonna? Go ahead.
The only pick I have is that Huntley's gonna be the MVP. That's my pick.
Who's gonna win the most incredible catch or whatever that shit's called?
Are they still doing
How
that
do you do that? Is that-
drone drop thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Nah, I don't think so. I think they took that off.
Oh yeah, they're doing the special catch or some shit though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. If they're jumping into a ball pit, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Hold on a second. Hold up.
They're dunking
Oh,
coaches and shit.
hold up! Before we get into Pro Bowl, we need to talk about where we stand as far as the points go.
Uh-oh.
Cheeks had a devastating 2-loss championship weekend. Flex hit both of his championship games. Both games 3-point eligible.
Big.
And we agreed that we were going to tier it up. Championship games 3 points, Super Bowl 4 points, correct? As we stand, last game, Super Bowl, Flex down 4 points.
Bam, bam, bam.
Caught up, came back.
Oh shit.
Still has a chance to tie it up with the Super Bowl pick, but we're gonna have to come up. Maybe we do a over/under or a final score closest to determine. How do you guys want to decide this? Because I couldn't have envisioned a comeback, but as it stands, Word Life 69 points and Flex 65 points. So first of all, how do you want to decide? I mean, how should we do? Who's taking what side? Who's gonna pick first? Because that can be controversial.
I have a feeling we're gonna pick the same team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, if you pick first, I would assume Flex is not going to pick the same team. But how do you want to even decide who picks first? And I would assume that if Flex picks first, you're going to pick the same team. So how do we decide who picks first?
How about we write it on a piece of paper first?
I'll let you two gentlemen negotiate how you want to do this. The two finalists, head-to-head, championship.
Yeah, let's write on a piece of paper, I guess.
Write on a piece of paper.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way.
I mean, nobody really cares who I'm picking. Well, no. What do you mean, right? What do you mean? Hold on. Why don't you both just text it to me privately, like not in the group? Just text it to me.
And not, I don't know.
Since my pick doesn't count anymore anyway. You know, because there might be some funny business. You write down both options on the paper, and then this was my pick, and you hold it up.
Yeah, I literally when I said that, I was like, wait, but I could just write both on one on two separate pieces of paper.
We would have to turn them at the same time.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to figure out if possible. I mean, again, it's up to y'all how y'all want to do it, but it would kind of. I mean, I don't know what your strategy is. I don't know if Flex is gonna try to just go with who he, what his pick would be, or if he's gonna try to assume who you're gonna pick and try to go opposite. I mean, it would just. I just feel like we have an opportunity to have some drama, and it would really kind of be whack if you both end up picking the same team. I mean, if that's what it is and that's how we settle it, then that's how we do it. But
why don't we?
I can make a case for either team, honestly.
Why don't we?
This could be the first ever. Speaking of that, this could be the first ever. The Super Bowl has never been a pick'em. It's never been a Vegas agreed no spread. This would be the first.
Why don't we wait till next Thursday?
Yeah.
Wait till next Thursday to make a pick.
Yeah.
I get some more info.
Okay, but even with that being said, so how do you want to decide? How do you want to do the pick? Or like, how do you want to decide who picks first? Or
I mean, we've been doing winner of the week, so I guess But I mean, unless y'all want to switch it up for the Super Bowl, we could. Is it really on you? What you think, Flex?
All right, so you want to do so Flex obviously won the week, so next week, Flex, you give your pick, or do you want to just do the text next week?
Yeah, we'll do the text next week.
All right, we'll do the text next week. That'd make it fair. A lot can
happen. There's already an Eagles player got indicted for kidnapping and rape. So a lot can happen in a week.
Yeah, and Andy Reid's pops, didn't he have Andy Reid's pops, Andy Reid's son, didn't he have his incident during this same week?
Was it during this time?
I think it was.
What was it?
Where he had that accident. I think it was after the championships and before the Super Bowl. I think.
I think it was.
That was last year, right?
I think it was 2 years ago, because I think they were in the game. They weren't in the game last year. No. It was when he was with the Chiefs. When he was with the Eagles, that was when his other son, I think, committed suicide.
Died. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was when he was with the Eagles. But I think 2 years ago, his son got into like a drunk driving accident and killed a kid or paralyzed the kid or something like that. Some type of brain damage, right?
Yeah, brain damage.
Yeah. All right, so we agree next week. We make picks. You're going to text them. And if you have the same team, you have the same team. Then it's over. If you don't have the same team, the championship will be decided on Sunday. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, so.
It's blurring shit. Hold on. Is it because I have green on?
Probably.
And what jersey is this?
That new Brees Hall, doggy. B2K.
B2K.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I think that might be a murder.
B2K isn't that that band?
You don't want your running
group?
your running back to be anything near B2K comparison.
You want it to be CJ2K.
Was it B2K? Was that the like almost like Brandy's brother, like that type of group?
No, it was it was a young group. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I thought it was like early.
It is
like early New Edition.
Omarion.
Yeah, his crew. Yeah.
I was thinking BTK. That's the. Hold on, let me see what the BTK.
BTK.
What is BTK?
I don't know. I saw
or are you
it
thinking
in
BTS?
Bind, torture, and kill.
Yeah.
It's in Kansas City.
Excellent.
Back in the 70s. Have you ever watched what's it called?
80 for Brady? Yes, I did. I saw it last weekend.
No.
He's like, I don't go to movies, but 80 for Brady? Woo!
Can't miss it. Yo, seriously, the
Yep.
amount of people, I have had more people hit me up when Brady tweeted that or whatever that he was retiring than when like a family member died. Like I'm mad proud of the amount of people that associate me with Tom Brady or associate Tom Brady when they think of me for some reason.
That's hard.
I'm proud of that.
What are you gonna do now, though?
Kill myself.
No, come on.
A little extreme.
You go with the next Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I'm a Joe Burrow fan now. How'd that work
I mean,
out?
who else gives you Tom Brady? Who else gives you Tom Brady vibes?
The guy who lost the Super Bowl. It took a while before Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl, so Joe Burrow does not give me Tom Brady vibes.
Out of everybody, I think he gives me the most Brady vibes.
I don't
Yeah.
really think so.
No,
I know how
I don't think he gives me
desperately
that.
everybody, including you, want to make this Joe Burrow thing happen, but you know, you could just wait and like let it happen. Like you don't gotta
No.
force it. That's the thing.
I
You
don't
gotta
think
force
we
it.
have to wait though. Like,
What do you mean you don't have to wait? I mean, I guess you don't have to wait, but you sound ridiculous if you don't wait.
no, I just think that he's already MVP status.
Well, explain that.
We can't do this.
What does that
We
mean?
can't do this together.
We have to
already-
do
this
this
is-
because there's nothing else
He's
to
the
do. There's no
second
more
best
games to
quarterback
talk
in the
about.
league. No,
He's the what?
second best quarterback in the league according to you guys, right?
MVP is one of one, my friend.
Oh, you're right.
One person
what I
wins
said.
MVP.
That's why I said.
Not the second best. Not
You're
second
right, but
place.
he's-
MVP is not a second place award.
Okay, who's the closest? So Mahomes is the highest quarterback, right? To you guys,
He's the what?
he's the best quarterback, right?
He's
Who's the
current-
other in his tier?
No one. Zero.
Come on.
What do you mean in
It's
his
not-
tier?
Who's in his tier?
Nobody. Zero.
Who's
Jalen Hurts, because he's the one facing.
What do you mean in his tier?
Jalen Hurts? Who's his competition for best quarterback in the NFL?
Nobody.
Nobody. Okay, so Mahomes is the he's a Hall of Fame. He's the guy. He's
No,
the best
right
ever.
now Mahomes is unquestionably the best quarterback in the league.
Why do you hate Patrick
I don't understand
Mahomes
why
so
that's
much?
so hard. Like,
I don't agree. That's why I don't agree.
based off of what?
I think it's Mahomes and Burrow the top tier, and then everyone else.
But you think Joe Burrow is just as good as Mahomes based on what?
On his play.
Now, do you think? What do you think? What do you think Patrick Mahomes would do with Chase, Boyd, and T. Higgins?
What would he do? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not
Well,
thinking
okay,
like
so
that.
all right, so let's do it this way. It's this is even harder to picture
Mhm.
because it's never happened. What would Joe Burrow look like without T. Higgins, Chase, and Boyd? Because even in college, when he killed it that one season, he had Chase.
No, you're right. But
Didn't he have Chase
the
and
what
Justin
ifs,
Jefferson?
the what ifs of the what ifs are
Yeah.
like. I don't know. I don't know. The what
But that's
ifs
the
are
thing.
what-
Okay, that's why I'm saying there's no what ifs. If we're going just based off of what is, there's no number. There's nothing you could point to anymore. You could have given me before, oh, he's 3-0 against them. That's what all the Burrow fans were holding on to. But now he beat him. So what else do you got? He doesn't have better stats than him. But what do you have?
Just play. Just watching him play and say, "Yo, that kid
So
is
it's
the
just
truth."
you like him better.
No, I don't even think he's better than Mahomes. I think they're in the same tier. My debate is that they're in the same tier. Mahomes is not this untouchable being. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL, arguably the
But
best quarterback in the
that's
NFL.
my question. See, that's the thing is that I don't
You don't
really
even
care.
want him. You don't even want Burrow in the same sentence.
No, it's not that I don't want him into the same sentence. I want to know what you're pointing to put him there. Because I've listened for weeks about people that not only did they want to put him in the same tier, they wanted to leapfrog that he was better, that he's his,
Oh,
he's
they were
his
rooting for him so
father
bad.
and all this shit, like way out of control.
Yeah, that's
And
the internet though.
And that's fine. You say that's the internet. But you're the same guy that was trying to give me Chad Henne drive to cement your argument for why Burrow is better than Mahomes. So you are the internet when it comes to that kind
I'm
of
not.
thing.
Listen, I'm purity. I'm not. I don't have the influences you guys have.
Okay,
You
so
guys
then
listen
explain
to
to
the
me why
outside
you want to
world.
make Joe
Hold
Burrow
on.
better than Mahomes
Hold on.
so
let
bad.
me explain my where I come from.
Go
Right.
ahead. Let's hear
I
it.
don't have influences of the outside world like y'all do. Y'all influenced by the Mahomes hate, so you hate on Burrow. I don't have that.
No,
I am purity. I am the purest. I am untouched.
that's a lie.
I am Simba.
That's a lie.
But I sent you some of the stuff.
That's a lie.
After,
You're lying.
yo, let me tell you something. I saw after what I saw after the game. I was like, I instantly thought of you guys, and I was like, no wonder. That's
Oh,
what
why
I
are
said.
you
I
lying?
said, no wonder these guys hate on Burrow because they're forced to hate on Burrow.
Why are you lying?
I had a Joe Burrow jersey on last week.
For the 5th time, why are you lying?
I'm not lying.
Yeah, you are lying. You're saying you're pure and you're not influenced, but that's not the truth.
Okay. How is that not the truth?
Because you're tired of Mahomes. And that is clouding your view of the argument. You think that Burrow is the next thing. You're excited about Burrow. He's the new thing, and you feel like Mahomes. You're getting tired, and Mahomes is getting stale to you. That's the truth. So don't give me this whole purity,
I don't think that's the truth though. And but you're completely missing the point. What I'm not saying I don't have my. I'm not telling you why I'm thinking of Mahomes in a certain way. What I'm saying is I am pure of the influences of the outside world, like you guys are, or like you aren't. Right? Like you guys see the memes. I don't. You guys hear the radio. I don't. It
What does that have to do with anything?
has to do everything because you guys are your views are tainted because of the outside world.
No, but see, this is you in reverse then, because you're saying that. No, not the opposite. Just for Mahomes, because you're sick of Mahomes.
I'm not sick of Mahomes.
Nah.
Have I ever said I was sick of Mahomes?
But I just don't. I don't know.
Listen,
You're trying to
just because. But you see, that's what y'all think because of the outside world. Y'all think since he's Burrow, he has to be anti-Mahomes.
Lazy argument. This whole trying to make
listen.
Listen. I've been listening. You keep saying the same thing, and it's not true.
I was just gonna answer Flex. My fault because my headphones are like things, so I'm like hearing y'all late. So I apologize.
No,
what I'm saying is
you don't have to apologize. You're good.
Y'all think because I'm pro Burrow, I'm anti Mahomes, and that's not the case.
No.
Y'all anti Burrow and pro Mahomes. I am pro Burrow, but I'm not anti Mahomes. Mahomes is the man.
It's not anti Burrow. It's anti already giving Burrow the throne before he actually got it. Like he lost the Super Bowl last year. Like the way people talk about him as if he already has one in the bag.
Yo, I swear I was just about to say that shit, and I've been thinking that shit for a minute. Like, yo, I have to remind myself, like, yo, did Joe Burrow win the Super Bowl? The way people, like, the way that he gets lifted up is like, I had to remind myself, like, yo, he didn't win the Super Bowl last year, did he?
So when y'all, and this I know is not true. I know you guys see how talented Burrow is. I know y'all see it because I've heard you guys express it here.
Yeah, he's good. I don't know if he's exactly talented. I know he's good.
What I was taken back, but I think y'all understand that he's the second best quarterback in the league. I know you guys think Mahomes
is
in
the mix.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that you think Mahomes is the best. That's an understandable argument, right? I think Burrow. I like Burrow, and it's a toss. It's a close one. Mahomes is probably the most talented. I like Burrow a little more, and that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't think that's oh my God, he thinks Burrow is the best quarterback. What the fuck? So when y'all was getting that Burrow in the text, I was a little like, what? Like, what the hell? Where did this come from? I was a little like taken back by that. But then I started seeing the memes and I started getting some of the outside world, and I was like, oh, I see it. I understand why my niggas is not fucking with Burrow that way.
But it's not. But it's not even not fucking with him because basically what it is like he's getting the treatment that Josh Allen got until last year, where he hasn't won anything, but it's Josh Allen, the unstoppable force.
Yeah.
It's like he's been stopped. He's been stopped, so he's not unstoppable.
But yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? So like the way they speak about it, my issue
Mahomes
isn't that
stopped.
but my issue is that it's not that he's not up there top 3 or whatever it is. The issue is like the the rush to get Mahomes out of that seat.
Mm-hmm.
It's which like is the outside world. Like but the thing is, it's still like you still have to give respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you taking out somebody why are you so eager to take him out? Like, it just feels like you're not respecting. Like, this dude has the like
this is what it comes
best
down to.
First 5 years in his career.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost like people are tired of him already. And like, all right, come on. Let's go get this new guy in. Joe Burrow. Yeah. He's good looking. You know what I'm saying? It's just like over the top. And I know that goes to what you're saying to a certain extent. But we see it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like I only listen to like let's say if we were in New York and there was one of the Jets or Giants quarterbacks, then you could see like, okay, I'm tainted because I'm only listening to a certain type of people. Mm-hmm. But it's like Burrow, but like other people aren't being elevated to Burrow. Like Jalen Hurts is in the Super Bowl.
And but I think you guys know the difference between Joe Burrow and Hurts.
Yes, I understand. But also, let's not act like legs don't have anything to do with a quarterback play. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's Mahomes' one of Mahomes' most underrated assets is the fact that people play him like he's a pocket quarterback when he's a runner. If you look at his clutch moments, he's running for those extra yards and he's extending plays, so definitely. And Burrow, Burrow does it too. Legs is definitely part of it. My quarterback freaking threw for 15 touchdowns only, and his legs was really what got people on his bandwagon. So
all right, so put it this way. If your son could have one of those skill sets, do everything that the other one could do, which one would you prefer him have?
That's tough, man.
No, it's not tough.
I'm gonna tell you why it's tough.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell you why it's tough. Because when I see Joe Burrow, he's so ill. He's so calm. Like that shit to me is iller. That's like he almost has like a Nas smoothness to him. And I grew up idolizing smoothness and being calm under pressure. Like that's my shit. Now, Mahomes, the freakish talent and all that. Yeah, he's more freakish than Joe. But how much do you put in clutch factor? Like Eli Manning is my fucking favorite quarterback of all time because of his ability to be a clutch player. Like I love that about, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a tough question. That's a tough question. It really is.
All right, but I understand you liking a certain like traits in everybody has the shoes you wear, the clothes you wear, whatever. It's all the same. Mm-hmm. But my point is, it's like that's almost like me saying that the Jets are the best team in the league just because I'm a Jets fan. Because I like or prefer a team or a player, I can't just I can't just say that he's better than somebody else. I can't just say that they're better.
Yeah,
than,
but
than every other
you're going
team.
from Jets to Chiefs. If you say that about the Eagles, now we have an argument, or now we have a respect factor where I can see why you think the Eagles are better than the Chiefs, blah 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 blah. Or I can see why you see the Chiefs are better than the Eagles because there's a respect factor that because you understand the level of athlete that we're talking about. We're talking about Joe Burrow and Pat Mahomes. Or excuse me, I apologize. I mean, we're talking about Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
And a space and Joe Burrow. You know.
And
no, but also you just said that you like. That's what I'm referring to. You saying you like that. Like, okay, he's
I idolize
cool.
that.
Okay, see, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're spitting nonsense or like, you know, like I'm just saying shit. I'm just saying that this is your cup. Like, I liked when we're in the '96 NBA draft. I liked Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much better Kobe Bryant was than him or whatever, all the stuff that championships he won. I like Allen Iverson. Like I would prefer to be Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get into that, of course you can't argue with that. But when you're talking about skill and you're talking about what he can do and what he's proven that he could do no matter you know, what wide receivers he has in there, no matter what's going on, like I don't know, you just can't. There's a certain things you can debate. Certainly, there's close. You know, there's an argument that can be made, but people weren't trying to make that argument. They were already trying to give it to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and again, I'm very innocent to that. I'm very ignorant to that.
It's not about people. It's not about the other people. At least for me. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not going to speak for you, Flex. I was annoyed by the Joe Burrow hysteria and all that shit. And that was why I was picking the Bengals. And I say that and I admit that. But those are for me personally, those are two separate conversations. Me rooting against the Bengals and rooting against Joe Burrow and me saying Patrick Mahomes is inarguably a better quarterback are two different conversations. I'm not clouded by what people are saying because I could go back 2 years ago or not even 2 years ago. I mean, it was just fucking not that long ago that Mahomes was the guy that everybody was hyping up and everybody was a Chiefs fan out of nowhere. And I was kind of like, okay, we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. And then people got real tired of Mahomes real quick for I don't know what reason. And they wanted to move on to Josh Allen was the first one. And that didn't work out. So now they're trying to put Joe Burrow ahead of him. But none of that has anything to do with the conversation about who's better, Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow. At least not for me. Because I like Joe Burrow. Like I said, I think he's great. But I just don't understand why people can't people just can't come clean. Even you, Cheese, you're sitting here and you're like, oh, nah. Like you just basically admitted what I said from the beginning, which is that you just like him better. And that's fine. That's okay. You can prefer him. You can like him better. You can like his vibe, his swag, his confidence, and you can idolize that and all that. But when we're discussing tangible shit, we're having a discussion who is better, and that's all you got? Because what else do you got? That's why I'm asking, what else do you got? If what you got is I like him better, then okay, you can like him better. That doesn't make him better.
The question was, who's the better? The question was what that Flex had said was my son shit. Like what do I like more?
Yeah, no, I
understand.
Whatever. But he said what qualities would you want your kid to have of the two? And
I said it was tough. I don't think it's a pick 'em. I think it's tough.
As far as I didn't hear you say anything tangible, anything physical. It's all color and swag and vibe and attitude.
The clutch factor. That's what I was.
But what about that?
And that's fine. You
What
can say
about Joe?
clutch factor.
What about Joe Burrow is more clutch than
That's what I'm
Mahomes, though?
saying. Like, now it's over. If all you've been leaning on, and I'm not saying you specifically, but
No.
anybody who has been campaigning for Burrow over Mahomes, if you're leaning on clutch, that's done. It's over.
One game doesn't determine that.
One game doesn't determine what, whether or not he's more
So
clutch.
so then when Burrow beat him in the playoffs, then Mahomes was not the Burrow was the more clutch player that year, and now
Yes.
this year Mahomes is the more clutch player.
Yes, if you want to have a discussion about who is more clutch, Joe Burrow was far more clutch last year than Mahomes was, and that's a large reason why they lost. I know that the clutchness of the quarterback is not the sole determining factor of, who wins and who loses, but I will admit, like, Burrow was far more clutch than Patrick Mahomes last year. But Joe Burrow's this is his second full year. Do you realize? Like, I don't understand. Like, you can hold a grudge and be like, oh well, one game doesn't determine it. But this is only his second year, so one game is a large percentage of his resume right now because he's only played 2 full years. So yeah, one game does matter a lot when the guy's only played how many playoff games? He's played how many playoff games, and he only played one good playoff game this year out of 3. So,
that's almost like
when you have a 1 for 3 in year 2, and you only have one other year of playoff clutch moments resume to lean on, then that's why I'm like, okay, Mahomes has been clutch as well. He has a bigger body of work, but Burrow only has a handful of playoff games, and he's been clutch in some, he's been not clutch in others. And I'm like, if you want to lean on the whole clutch argument, you need him to be clutch a larger percentage of the time in this short window that he's been in.
And if Huntley doesn't fumble that ball and they take it back 99 yards, he's not even playing against Mahomes. You know what I'm saying?
He's not even playing against Josh Allen.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying, like, I just feel like the Joe Burrow acolytes are so thirsty to make him great prematurely that they're taking everything good that he does and elevating it. And then if he messes up, it doesn't, oh, well, that's only one game. Oh, well, he didn't have an O-line. Oh, well, the coaches didn't do the right thing. I just don't understand. I don't get why it's why it's so thirsty to make him that dude immediately.
Yeah, can he do it first before he's that dude?
Yeah, like, yo, and honestly,
a lot of people,
because I was looking at, and I know a lot of people are not gonna like this, but this is the truth. This is facts. This is resume. Joe Burrow's resume after year 3 is not that different from Carson Wentz's resume after year 3. And I'm not saying Joe Burrow is going to be Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz had a shot off like a rocket his first 3 years too. He had the injury, and then we never seen him again.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had his injury and came back dope.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that I would have said the same thing to somebody who was saying that Carson Wentz is the GOAT. Like, he's had two runs, really, two seasons. His first season he got hurt, so that was a wash. And it was rookie year, so I would excuse whatever happened rookie year for the most part anyway. But he had a great run last year. And then this year he had a good run to close out the season. But that's the thing, is that even Joe Burrow fans don't even want to admit that he had a bad playoffs. He had a bad playoffs. Like, if you can't just come out and say that he didn't have a good playoff run, and if you can't just come out and say that he didn't get it done in Kansas City, then you're clouded and you're biased. Because those are facts. That's not. I mean, what can you lean on to support that he had a good playoff run this year? He had a dope regular season run. He closed out the regular season strong. He looked good in Buffalo, but he looked like dog shit in the first home game. And
He did.
And he looked all right in the Chiefs game. But if he is everything that he's supposed to be, or he's every bit of clutch, like, yo, he didn't get it done. He had the ball 2 times in the fourth quarter at the end of the game, and he came up with nothing against a average Chiefs defense. And you can give me all about the O-line all you want, but the O-line was not. The Bengals have had a bad O-line since he got there. And yes, a bad O-line with injuries makes a bad O-line worse. But the fact of the matter is he just didn't get it done. And listen, if you look back specifically at the Chiefs game, and not even, you can go past the Chiefs game, but the Chiefs game is a perfect example because literally every single big play that the Bengals made in that Chiefs game, every big pass that you watch, he throws it into double coverage every single play. Every time he's throwing it into T. Higgins getting double covered, throwing it into Jamar Chase getting double covered, and they make dope plays. And I respect him for making those passes, and he puts those throws in places where only the receiver can get it. But he's the only quarterback in the league that has the luxury to be able to make those type of throws and to make those type of decisions. Nobody else has that luxury that they could throw the ball up like that. Like you're talking about and I don't want to get too much into the comparing of the weapons conversation because that just kind of gets skewed. Mm-hmm. But I'm just talking about Burrow from a decision-making standpoint, right? He throws that pick into double coverage with T. Higgins, and it ends up getting intercepted. Whose fault is that? Is that not on Burrow?
It would have been, but it was a touchdown. Oh, you talk about the pick, the actual pick?
No. Well,
the second pick.
No.
Yeah, that was a double, or that was single? I thought it was single.
Yeah, because it was
two defenders touched the ball. It was like by
defense. Oh, that one, yeah. Double. But that was a good ball, though. No, that was just great defense.
2 rookie defenders, mind you.
If it was what?
Yeah, I understand. The other one, I blame Burrow, and he rushed it and he threw it up, and it was one of those jump balls. And who was it, Higgins or was it Boyd? One of them was still going downfield, and he kind of threw it up for like a jump pass. That was a bad ball. The double play, I thought that was a great play by the young Cook, whatever his name is.
Okay, so if it's a great play by the defenders, it's a bad decision by Burrow. Because nobody's forcing you to throw that into double coverage. I like that he does it. I respect him for it. That's his game, and it's good to watch, and he's elite when it comes to passing the ball. But the fact of the matter is he didn't get it. Like, you can't have everything. Like, he can't be Mr. Clutch, and that's what we're leaning on to support why Joe Burrow is so great. But when he makes a bad decision in the clutch, because listen, pure example, Pat Mahomes, he doesn't have the receivers with the same ability. He has Kelsey, and that's it. His receivers get no separation, but you look at that fucking dart he threw into the end zone for MVS.
Ooh.
And there's no separation there. That's not, I have a guy in double coverage and I can loft it up in the perfect spot and he can make the play. There's no margin for error on a pass like that. And Joe Burrow, not to say that he can't make those type of passes, he just doesn't have to make those type of passes. No, it wasn't. Was it a post? I don't remember what kind.
Well,
of
the one that
it was the one because he caught it. I think it was.
It was center.
It was almost like sitting down. He was sitting down.
Yeah. No, there was separation there. It was just a late. It was thrown.
That shit went through the dude's hands.
What separation was there? Did you watch?
You're thinking of the other.
Did you watch that play? Do you know what pass I'm talking about?
I'm talking about the Hilton one. The one, not Hilton. Yeah, Hilton. The Hilton was a defender on it. No.
I think so. I don't remember.
Mahomes didn't get to throw it on time because he had to move up in the pocket. Then he rifled it in there. But he was open for a few seconds before Mahomes threw the ball, but Mahomes had to because he moved up in the pocket. I'm not knocking
so,
him for it.
I mean, you
It was a
can't.
great throw. When I saw it, I was like, that was disgusting. There was no hate. My son goes for Mahomes. I was going for Mahomes while I was going for Burrow. We were watching the game, and I wasn't hating.
Yeah,
not,
I said
not
I
one
stood
bit.
up and I was like, "Yo, this shit is
That
ridiculous."
was fire. That was fire. That was.
But that's
was
what I'm
great.
saying. That's what it is. With that, the Higgins
But that's why I'm not
touchdown.
mad. Like I'm happy.
No,
that
but I'm saying
there's-
the Higgins touchdown. If it's not Higgins, that thing is intercepted.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point, is that he gets to throw passes and make decisions. Like, forget about, I'm not going to, because I feel like if I credit the receivers too much, it seems like I'm saying that the receivers are making Joe Burrow. And that's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that you get to go about playing the quarterback position a whole different type of way, and you get to make different decisions a whole different type of way when you have guys that you can when you can confidently throw the ball in double coverage. And not only is it a good chance they're going to make a play on it, but usually, obviously it didn't work out for him in that one pass where he threw to T. Higgins and it got picked, but usually, if nothing else, they stop him from throwing an interception. They make a good enough play on the ball that it doesn't get picked.
Chase did that against Sauce Gardner when they played against the Jets in week 3.
Yeah, they do that all the time, and I'm not trying to hate on Joe Burrow. I'm just saying I still have yet to hear anybody point to the one thing, the tangible, actual reason that makes Joe Burrow better than Patrick Mahomes. There's nothing that he does that Patrick Mahomes doesn't and can't do.
Because that's the other thing. Like, all right, they're quick to make the excuse for with the O line with Joe Burrow, but let's not forget what happened in that Super Bowl.
He got destroyed. He had no O line.
Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then that's used against him for not being clutch.
Exactly.
So what is it?
But yeah, it should. Again, it shouldn't be held. That was a great defense he faced in Tampa. But I don't know, man.
When
it's
has
tough,
Mahomes not been clutch? When has he choked in a big spot?
I'm sure they're there. I don't.
The only one I would say that he choked in a big spot was last year against the Bengals. That to me was the time I was most disappointed in Mahomes, because I felt like I'm watching this game, and
Didn't he lose that Rams 50-50 game, and he threw a stupid pick?
Rams 50.
But that was young. That was young. That was young, Pat. So I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go like
Rams 50-50.
No, you're thinking of the Patriots when they or the Patriots game, or the first time that he went to the
when he
AFC
faced the
Championship?
Patriots. Wasn't that? But didn't he?
Yeah,
who the
He took
Rams
Tom
faced
Brady
that
to
year?
overtime. I don't know how.
Yeah, and then that game was wiped out because of
But I don't want to. But that's not
offsides.
Yeah.
That they said there was offsides.
Yeah, he didn't end up getting the ball in overtime.
So the first time it was because that was a like he should have been to the Super Bowl again. That was a phantom offsides. The second one was when he got to the Super Bowl and won it coming back against the 49ers. All right. The other one was wait, am I I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying is that, like, I watched this dude come from behind in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. I watched Joe Burrow lose the Super Bowl.
To Matt Stafford.
Well,
Like, listen,
but
that's what I'm saying.
Mahomes
is that,
did
like,
have
Mahomes gets
talent around him at one
no
point.
credit, huh?
Mahomes did have my fault. Mahomes did have great talent around him at one point.
Here
It's
we
not
go.
like
See, this is the same thing, but the talent the talent never takes anything away from Burrow, but somehow it always takes away from Mahomes.
But y'all
Why?
telling me, but y'all sitting here telling me that y'all saying it, but y'all not saying it, that his receivers bail him out from throwing interceptions or throwing bad plays. So
That's not what I said.
but you can't blame
didn't say
Burrow.
that.
I know, but in other words, you're saying
No. I'm saying that he gets to play the position different because of the weapons that he has. That's what I'm saying.
He has a
but
bigger
that shouldn't
margin,
be held
margin
against
of error.
him. That shouldn't be held
I'm
against
not
him.
holding that against
No, but it's
him.
not holding
Oh.
against him.
It sounds like it.
But you're holding it. No, but I'm saying you're using it as a like he's he's being put in a position where he's supposedly better because of it. Like, it's cool if you're not like if you're not using it in the discussion, that's fine. But you just said that about Mahomes, that he had the weapons, so you can't downgrade.
No, all I'm just saying
that.
is like I'm not. I wasn't trying to say that. All I was just saying is like what I was trying to get to is basically say that just because he has weapons, it shouldn't be held against him.
I'm not
Like,
holding
Mahomes
it
had
against
great
him. I'm
weaponry
holding
before.
against him that there's nothing he's done that's better than what Patrick Mahomes I've already seen him do. And no one can point to anything Burrow has done that is better than what Mahomes has done. There's nothing. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to take away from Joe Burrow, but there's nothing he's done that Joe Burrow hasn't or can't do. Like, the resume just, you want to make this argument that he's just as good, they're the same tier, but that resumes don't add up to that. So that's why I'm asking you, what do you have to lift Joe Burrow to meet Pat Mahomes when the resumes don't explain that? That's like, you could try to make all kinds of arguments to lift why Dominique Wilkins was just as good as Jordan, but if the resumes don't add up, where do you go from there?
You're right, and like you know, Pat Mahomes does have more years, but it's okay to make a prediction.
Even Pat Mahomes
it's okay to be
in
like
year 3 is more than Joe Burrow has ever done. Like, you could take away the years. You can put Mahomes at this where Burrow is at this point in his career. Mahomes at this same point, resume crushes Burrow's. Well, actually, crushes is strong, but it still beats it.
No, but it's true.
MVP, Super Bowl win.
MVP, Super Bowl, yeah, and I get it, but there's nothing wrong with seeing traits in somebody and saying, and a kid that did go to the Super Bowl, you know, he has accolades. It's not like he doesn't have accolades. He does have. It's okay to make a prediction and be like, yo, this kid right here is gonna be one of our
That's it. But that's it. But that's my point. Gonna be and is are two completely different things. If you were telling me Pat Mahomes is gonna be, you could tell me he's gonna be better than, or you could tell me Burrow's gonna be better than Pat Mahomes. Maybe he is. Wait and see. My issue has not been people giving Burrow credit and people being impressed with Mahomes. That has not been like any kind of thing I'm arguing against. My whole thing is that everybody wants to put him there right on the level with Pat Mahomes, and there's nothing there. It doesn't exist. It's made up. Like, you can try to forecast and foreshadow, and the way you see this happening, that's fine. If you look at Burrow and you think in 10 years he's going to have hardware that outshines what Mahomes got, God bless. If he does it, if he pulls it off, God bless. My issue is not the forecasting. My issue has always been, if we're going to talk about who's the MVP this year, if we're going to talk about who's the best quarterback in the league this year, there is nothing on Joe Burrow's resume that says he's better than Mahomes. Nothing. Zero.
But yeah, I guess you could say that. I'll give you that. But there's nothing wrong with picking Burrow over Mahomes if you really think that he's gonna end up being that guy. There's nothing wrong.
I've never pushed back against that. I've never pushed back against anybody who wants to say Joe Burrow's gonna have a great career. Joe Burrow's gonna win MVPs. Joe Burrow's gonna eventually pass back Pat Mahomes and be the best quarterback in the league. I've never had an issue with any of that. I've never pushed back on anybody saying that. You've never heard me push back on that because I believe in Joe Burrow heavily. My issue has just been right now. If we're talking about this year MVP, if we're talking about who's the best quarterback in the league right now, today, unless you can show me a resume that is better than Pat Mahomes.
Mahomes had the better year.
I just don't even see what we're talking about. To me, that's why I'm just saying, I just don't see what we're talking about. And I've even given people the out. If you say you like him better, if you say you want to root for him better for whatever reason, like, go ahead. You could like him, root for whoever you want. My issue is just if we're talking about hardware, we're talking about, you know, objectively, if you want to say you're pure, you're this, you're not influenced. If you're not influenced, The resumes are there. It's not. I mean, it's not hard to tell.
But you should look at me as an anomaly and be like, why did this nigga like Burrow so much without the outside influence? Like
My
I
issue, but you
see
say
I feel
don't
like I
have
know
an
what I
issue with
see
you
in Burrow
liking
is
him.
true.
That's
My fault.
fine,
What-
but I've
what?
never had an issue with like. Like is fine.
But like more than Mahomes.
You
Is
can
that
like
okay?
him more than Mahomes. You can hate Mahomes. It doesn't. I don't care about that. But if we're talking
Yeah.
about who's better, if we're talking about who's MVP, like though there's a resume that comes along with that argument. You want to put like the whole the point of a quote unquote MVP conversation, right? You bring a resume to the conversation. I mean, if we're talking about who's MVP, there has to be a resume involved. If we're talking about who you like better, that conversation can go on forever. Like,
Yeah.
fine,
Well,
like
the
whoever you
MVP
like.
Yeah,
But
there's
if we're
no-
talking
yeah,
about
there's no-
MVP and we're talking about who's the best, there needs to be a resume to back it up. And Joe
the thing
Burrow does
about
not
MVP
have the resume.
the thing about MVP though, there's so much shit that goes into it to certain people. It's not just stats that go into it. It's what I've heard like, oh, if you take this guy out, is he that? Is all this shit? There's so much shit when it comes to MVP. What I thought growing up, MVP was the best player in the league. That's it. That's not what it is. It's a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah,
but I
that's-
will say this, and I think we've been on this topic. I think we got good content on this. But I will say this, and tell me if y'all agree with this or am I bugging? Right now, in big games, important games, Mahomes versus Burrow, it's 1-1.
What does that mean, 1-1?
It's 1-1. So as much as Burrow
What,
is
the record is 1-1?
yeah, versus in big games, Mahomes versus Burrow, it's 1-1.
Okay.
So as much as we're gonna sit here and say, oh, Mahomes is more clutch this year, it's the same way we could say Burrow was more clutch than Mahomes last year. And right now, this is what made me so excited of this after that game, and I was very happy with it, is because I kind of felt like we're back to Peyton and Brady. We're back to Rodgers and Brady. We're back to that competition of top tier quarterbacks and who's better and all that shit. So right now, Mahomes and Burrow in big meaningful games are one for one. They're tied.
I won't argue that. That's fine.
Right. So
And before last weekend, Burrow had the edge on him as far as head-to-head matchup big games. I've never disputed that because that's facts. That's a resume. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's been my point the whole time. If you want to talk about something that there's a resume to back it up, like let's talk about it. Teach me, educate me. But people just keep on throwing out this Joe Burrow is the MVP. Joe Burrow's better than Mahomes. And I'm just like, I don't, based off what? Like, you could like him better, but listen, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is not my favorite quarterback in the league, but the resume speaks for itself. It is what it is. Like, I don't understand what kind of argument there is to be made. Like, it's very tangible. You could look at it, and even if you don't want to talk about stats and talk about numbers, you want to talk about winning big games. Joe Burrow has not won as many big games as Patrick Mahomes. He just hasn't. Patrick Mahomes has hosted AFC Championship games. And now, obviously, granted, given what happened at the end of the season, we don't know who would have ended up hosting the AFC Championship because of all the, fucked up shit with the schedule. But if I remember correctly, that game last year was in Kansas City, which is what made it even more of a black eye on Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a fact. That's the reality. But Patrick Mahomes has gotten it done in the regular season to get his team to host playoff games.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just excited about the rivalry that has come up. I love it. I think it's healthy. I think it's great. I don't feel like you have to be, if you're pro one, you have to be anti one. I think a lot of that comes down to just because they're the two that I believe they're the two best, people just compare them, and that just be, and like I kind of said, I think I said it last week, just be, it's natural to compare because they're the two. It's just natural.
That's fine, but you're saying two things at once. You're saying it's natural to compare the two, but you don't have to bring down one to lift up the other. But that's been my issue the whole time, is that for whatever reason, the Burrow fans, and like, listen, like I said, I'm a fan of Joe Burrow. I do
Me
like
too.
Joe Burrow, but I just
I
don't
have his
understand what the need is. You're the only one that has his jersey amongst the three of us. But I just don't understand why the people who want to support Joe Burrow, they're not like, it's not okay to be the second best quarterback in the league. Like, what's wrong with that?
And you know what it is
No,
also.
I think it's great. If you're the second best quarterback in the league, plus you have the number of the number one quarterback in the league, that puts you in the conversation. That, like you understand, but you guys understand why people love Burrow.
I just don't understand this whole puts you in the conversation. I mean, we're having a conversation about it right now, but it's not a conversation that I think even makes any kind of sense.
Well, I just said it right there. The fact that Mahomes is the best, right? And the other kid that went to the Super Bowl last year that just faced.
He's not a kid. He's 1 year.
Okay,
that's the other thing.
Than Mahomes.
Okay, all right, but the more recent NFL, the more recent pro has the number one best quarterback's number. You know, the argument is there, bro. The argument can be made. Like, you understand that. Like, okay, boom.
I don't understand it. I don't.
But
really
I'm explaining it right there. The fact that Mahomes has been the best quarterback in the league for years, right? And here comes the kid that wasn't supposed to go to the Super Bowl last year, went to the Super Bowl, and has the best quarterback in the leagues, the best quarterback in the last numerous years of the NFL. He has his number, so that's why people say that. That's why it's there. And I think it's healthy. I think it's a great thing.
Let me ask you something. When Peyton Manning was in his prime, and he was consistently winning MVPs, but he couldn't get past the Patriots in the playoffs, who was the better quarterback? Brady or Manning?
You know,
and I get,
and
it's a tough question because
it's a tough one, but I haven't answered.
Went on for years. But let's just say
no.
Early in the rivalry.
I'll do one better. I'll separate me now, and I'll take you a look into when it was happening. When it was happening, Peyton was my favorite quarterback. Right? At the time, I'm like, yo, Peyton is the best quarterback. I thought it was the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. Okay. I'm like, look at this guy, audible. I love the way he plays. I love the way he changes the plays, bugging out, all this Yamaha, all this bugged out shit. I loved it, right? But at the time, I'm like, yo, Peyton. Even though Brady would go win the chip, I would find an excuse. I would find, Peyton is. I just like the way Peyton plays and look at the MVPs and all that. But fast forward now, you look back and you're like, yo, Brady being that clutch and being that ill and being that calm and that understand the assignment and ace it is greatness. But at the time, I just saw the flashiness, the on the line, yo, I'm changing it all audible and shit. And at the time, I thought Peyton was the better one. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. It's like there's his. That's why we're saying you gotta wait till he beats him. When he beats them, then you can have the conversation because a different like for example.
But that's the thing. He has his number.
But
you just finished saying they're 1-1, but now he has his number.
So
how do we reconcile these things? You want so badly to make this happen, and there's no resume there, and that's why the whole Manning Brady.
He has his number, right or wrong.
You're making my point because when you were making the argument for Manning, you had a resume on your side. Yeah, Brady had Manning's number in the playoffs, but you had the resume of Manning being better than Brady. You don't even have that. Mahomes is Brady and Manning in this comparison.
That's what I'm saying, because we're looking at it now. Like Brady, when Brady had Peyton's number, it wasn't even really about Brady. It was about the Patriots. Because if you look back, he wasn't putting
at the time. I was saying the same shit.
Yeah,
but now I don't feel that way now.
Yeah, because then you're letting time shift your argument, because there's two things. Brady basically had 2 or 3 different careers. When he started, it was a team that wasn't dependent on Brady to win the games for him, to win the games for the Patriots. It was a defense. They didn't have any. It was like a running team, but they didn't really have anything on offense like that. That was crazy. The shift happened when it was in 2007, 2008, when they got Moss.
Exactly.
Then that's when he took that step up, and then that's when he passed that. See, that's the point. That's when he passed Peyton Manning. When not only did he have the resume, the wins, he also showed that he could put the team on his back.
Yeah,
and when
he
the
could
Super
do
Bowl,
everything that it wasn't until 2008, like you said, and so it wasn't until Moss and Welker that Brady took the next step forward and showed that he can do all the things that Manning was doing. Because before
he had to take that step first.
Exactly, but before
he actually took the step.
Yeah, before that he had the head-to-head resume, but you could clearly look at the games and look at the entire resume of the seasons and careers they were having, and you could see that Manning was the better quarterback pre-Moss arriving. And I don't want to even say, because obviously even after that, Brady proved that he could do all the things Manning does. He just kept getting better and better. But up until that point, there was no resume other than, oh, I beat you in the playoff game, that you could lean towards to say that Brady was better than Manning. But Manning had every other resume aspect that outweighed Brady.
Chips is a big argument, though.
Okay, but if you're making my point, is that if Chips is such a big argument, where's Burrow's chip? He doesn't have anything over Mahomes.
Yeah, can he get that? That's the main point. Can he get one first? Can he get a resume before we assume that that's his resume? Because
Mahomes has,
he's beat. That's like saying Matt Stafford is better than Burrow because he beat him. That's like saying, what was it? Why am I blanking on?
No, actually, Jacoby Brissett has Burrow's number, because Burrow struggles to beat the Browns. See, that's the team he has the worst record against. So are we going to say that the Browns quarterback is better or more clutch than Joe Burrow? Like, no, those head-to-heads, they have significance. But if all you have is head-to-head and literally every other aspect of the resume, including championships, including clutch playoff wins, does not go in your favor, then you're just grasping. You're desperate.
Yeah, you're putting him in a place.
I don't know. I see what y'all saying. I do see what y'all saying.
I feel like you look at Burrow and you see that he has it. He has the factor.
He's that guy.
It's not something that you can really quantify. You just look at it and you're like, he has this quality about him that you don't see in Mahomes. But until he takes that factor, until he takes that clutch factor, and until he takes that it factor and has the resume off of that, I don't see how you can argue him against Mahomes, because it's not like Mahomes don't have MVPs. It's not like he don't have playoff wins. It's not like he don't have a Super Bowl win and he has another Super Bowl appearance. Like, listen, if Mahomes was a dude that was consistently falling short in the playoffs, if he was a dude that
if Mahomes was Joe Burrow,
I'm saying, like, to me, like, when you're making the Manning Brady comparison right now, he has the best of the Manning and Brady resume right now. Joe Burrow has neither. He doesn't have the hardware.
Because he got the chip and he got the
because
I get
it. But listen, when it was Manning had better numbers. You could tell that he played better. that he was a more cerebral, all that stuff. But Brady had the wins
And the chips.
and the chips. Mahomes has the chips,
Mm-hmm.
has the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and all.
It doesn't have the wins though.
What do you?
What wins
What do you
doesn't he
mean?
have? The head-to-head?
Yeah, the head-to-head.
Okay.
So
to
that's
you,
why.
the head-to-head wins puts him over Mahomes.
No,
So
I didn't
then-
say.
so
I
then-
never said that. I'm just saying.
But you're
I just
using that
asked
as
a
an
question.
argument.
I just
No,
asked a
You're
because
using
question.
that as part of the argument when I'm
No.
telling you, like, for example, like, all right, when Brady was winning over over Manning,
Mhm.
he had the defense. The better defense by far is Cincinnati. Peyton Manning had the weapons. Joe Burrow has better weapons.
Now, yeah.
What do you mean?
The Manning? No,
No,
he's
the-
talking about the Manning at the time.
When Manning
No, but he's
was
comparing him to Mahomes this year, saying
No.
Mahomes
He's
has no.
no. He's
My
comparing.
point
He's making the analogy. He's saying that.
Yeah, I get
or
it.
if I'm not mistaken, you're saying that Manning had better weapons than Brady at the time.
yeah.
Currently, Burrow has better weapons than Manning had at that time.
Brady had a better defense, but Joe Burrow also has that defense.
Mhm.
So it's like two of the things that made Brady the thing that almost in the beginning that made Brady have Manning's number,
The defense and coaching.
the defense, but Burrow also has that over Mahomes.
So let's play that game. I'll play that game too. Since y'all playing, I didn't want to go to that. I didn't want to go to the tick for tat shit. But I'm
Thing by thing.
no, hold on. Okay, so then let's go. Okay, so let's go.
defense,
Let's go
For
coaching.
Tat, it's just gonna get
Let's go
worse.
coaching. Let's go coaching. Let's go coaching. Go.
That's a check.
That's
Okay, that's a
obviously
huge check for. Chiefs.
And before you
Yep,
say that, actually, I need to publicly say this because I've been very critical of Zach Taylor, and I still don't think Zach Taylor is a good in-game coach. But I
He's
can't
not.
keep
That's why.
shitting on him as a coach in general because, again, I'm a resume guy. The fact of the matter is, he has his team ready to play. I don't like a lot of the in-game decisions that he makes. I don't like a lot of the ways, a lot of the way that the offense runs and some of the kind of, some of the timing of some of the offensive decisions. I don't love it. But the fact of the matter is that he has the resume now and his guys are ready to play and he's gotten the job done.
If you get rid of Joe Burrow and he goes to Hackett, because that's what Hackett was, right? Hackett was the main guy because of Rodgers. If you take Burrow and he goes to down and he's to shit, we can take that away from Zach, right? We could say it was Burrow.
yeah, but
You
everybody
lost
knows it's
me.
Burrow.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just fucking because of the Hackett shit. Because Hackett is still literally getting jobs because of 1 year that he had with an MVP quarterback.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay, so go ahead. So that's a so Mahomes has the better coach.
has a Hall of Fame coach. Yep. Boom. What else we got? Defense.
Whatever you want.
Are we
There's
going
nothing
with
else you
last year
got.
too?
Go ahead.
Are we going with last year too?
No, this year.
Okay.
But
because
last year their defense was better too.
the Chiefs' defense was.
He's just
was
trying
better
to
than-
desperately bring Tyreek Hill into
No, I'm
the
not. I'm just
conversation.
bringing
Go
things
ahead.
to the table. Why is it desperate when y'all do it, but when
It's-
you do it, it's
It's
okay.
desperate because you don't have anything. I've been giving you resume. I'm giving you fucking actual shit, and you
H,
got nothing other than I like him.
You saying, listen, you not saying and saying that Burrow is that man because of his receivers is desperate.
What?
You're taking away because he's blessed with receivers. Mahomes
for
had
the
the best
fifth
receiver in the league
time,
for many
I'm
years.
not trying to
the
take
best tight
anything
end
away
in the
from
league
him.
for many years. A Hall
And
of
what
Fame
is
coach
many
his whole career.
years?
What he had Hill. He had Hill.
Mahomes threw for more touchdowns and more yards than Burrow this year.
Okay. Okay.
Who has better receivers this year?
Burrow.
Who has a better defense
It's not
this
But
year?
the thing is, it's not even close. That's the thing.
Forget about Patrick Mahomes he has a bottom 5 in the league receiving core.
But he does have a Hall of Fame tight end. Great. Not just a Hall of Fame tight end. One of the greatest weapons in
Let's
the NFL.
keep going down this list that you want to go
Hold
down.
on. He has one of the greatest weapons in the NFL. Burrow doesn't have
Burrow has 2.
the greatest weapon. He doesn't
has
have
two number
one of the
ones.
greatest weapons. He has great weapons,
Whoa.
but he
What do you
doesn't
mean
have
he
the
doesn't have one of the greatest
one of the
weapons?
greatest. That tight end, Kelsey is one of the greatest weapons in the NFL.
And Jamar Chase is one of the greatest weapons in the NFL.
And
He's a
also,
great
we're overlooking the Joe Mixon.
No. We're not going to overlook anything because we're going down this list. Go ahead. What else you got?
Where were we? Chiefs. We got head coach. Okay, the defense. We're only going this year.
Only going this year, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Huh?
Okay, so Mahomes has a point for better coach and better tight end. 2 for Mahomes, none for Burrow. Poor Joe Burrow, doing it on his own. What else?
Burrow
you got?
got the better defense. He got the better receivers. 2 for 2.
Yeah, but honestly, if we're gonna go,
Who has the better O line?
you don't get
Who has
to
the
go.
better O-line?
You don't get to go 1 for 1 with tight ends and 1 for 1 with an entire receiving core. You don't get to do that.
No, you said tight end.
Mahomes' best receiver wouldn't get on the field in Cincinnati. So you can say everything you want about the greatest weapon of all time. First of all, Hayden Hurst is not a bum.
He's not, but he
Hayden
did
Hurst
drop
is way better at his job than Mahomes' receivers are at their job. Hurst, the gap between Hurst is closer to Kelsey than MVS is to Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Or
I'll give
T.
you that.
Higgins.
I'll give you that. Look, if we're not gonna bring last year in the
Stop
kinda
trying to bring.
through-
You're so desperate. It's sad.
No, it's not. I just want that was the point of the whole going forward thing because I'm like, this is what happened. I mean, this reminds me very much of when Jay-Z and Nas were at their debate, right? When I was around Nas fans that hated on Jay, I was forced to defend Jay. And when I was around Jay fans, obviously I was always on Nas. Right now, I'm being forced to defend Burrow against.
No.
No,
There's no
because this
victimhood here in being forced.
There's
You
not no
took this
victim. I'm just
upon
explaining
yourself.
the scenario.
Okay, but this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to do that Burrow beat the Chiefs when they were better,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you're basically
When who was better? When the Chiefs were better than the Bengals?
No, yeah, when the Chiefs were better than the Bengals.
Yes.
But how does that work when they lose to the same team that's worse the next year? Like, how does that work in your favor when the Chiefs are worse this year in terms of everything you're pointing to last year, but this is the year that they beat them?
Because again, that was the whole reason is because the Chiefs were the better team last year and Burrow won. So I was just
And the Bengals
doing
were the better team this year, and Burrow lost. So
Yes.
wash out.
That's what I said. 1 for 1. I said it earlier when I tried to get rid of this conversation. They're 1 for 1 in big games. We can't. That's it.
Yeah,
They're
but
1 for
if
1 in
the
big
one
games.
game was all you had, and now you've lost that game, you don't have anything else. That's the whole point of this. The
In
whole
big
point
games-
of this was that the one big win that Burrow had over Mahomes last year was the only line on the resume that a Burrow defendant could have over Mahomes. And now that line is washed. And now you have nothing, but you're still grasping for I don't know what. That's why I'm asking. What is it that you're doing?
What you're trying to do is you're
just
trying to explain the it factor, and it's
no. I'm
and
not
it's
trying to
not
explain the
explain.
impact. I'm basically. I think at the end, in a nutshell, it's just I understand why the comparison is there. I understand why they're the number. They're that top to me. They're the top tier, and then there's everyone else. I understand it, and it's not asinine to me. And I understand your debate with the stats and everything, but you should be able to understand why people see what they see in Burrow. Yeah.
No, I do understand. You keep saying that, but that you're misrepresenting what I'm saying because I've not said that for like the 100th time. I don't know how many times I have to say the same
But you
thing.
keep saying you keep like what the like what is there? That shit is over. Mahomes is the best. I said, all right.
All right, cool.
No,
That's what you say.
wait, I'm saying that?
Yeah, you're saying Mahomes is the best. That's it. And what's bothering you is the fact that people are still wanting to put Burrow over Mahomes.
I don't understand it. I don't understand if you're gonna sit here and not you, but if any person who wants to argue on behalf of Joe Burrow wants to say that it's not a personal preference thing, like I don't care about personal preference. If you want to tell me Burrow is your personal preference and you like him better, that's fine. But I don't understand why people don't want to just own, yeah, I like him better. Like you gotta try to make up shit to say that he is better, but you don't have anything to point to back up what you're saying.
Besides,
it's a team game
besides
when
looking
Burrow
at him
loses.
and saying that he's that dude. Besides watching with your own eyes and being like, how is he still doing it?
The question isn't is he that dude. The question is who is a better quarterback today.
Okay.
That's that. I'm not saying Joe Burrow's
Okay.
not that dude. I'm not saying Joe Burrow's a bum. I'm saying
if Joe Burrow beats Mahomes in that game, Mahomes still the better quarterback.
Are you saying your opinion?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you, right? I'm thinking like you guys now. So if Burrow was to have beat Mahomes this game last week, Mahomes would have still been the better quarterback.
Well, also it would have looked different. He would have had to do something that made him the better quarterback. So if he takes that drive, wins the game.
If Joe Burrow went out the way Mahomes, he got pushed out and they made a field goal, right? Mahomes is still better than Burrow. So
at the end of that game, are we going to play out the resume? Does Joe Burrow go on
season,
to win the chip?
For this season, Mahomes would have still been better than Burrow, right?
But if
the stats is there because the
but he goes back to back. But if he goes back to back Super Bowls, you're adding a resume. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's why I'm saying
he beat him, plus, like depending on if he would have won or not, you're adding that to the resume. So now you actually have things that you can say. Well, he did this. He took him to the Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like you have stuff to be able to say that Burrow is better. But the thing is that people are trying to do the Burrow is better without having those things first.
I think it's okay. Mahomes, I'm having deja vu like crazy. Mahomes A, Burrow A-B, or A1, whatever. Mahomes A, Burrow A1. Like he's the second best, bro. Mahomes had a better year. Mahomes beat him in the big game this year. That's fine. Fuck him.
Okay. You
I don't know what to say,
that, but it's okay. You don't have to.
You
don't believe
love
what
Burrow,
you're saying,
and I still think
it's
Burrow
okay.
is.
You don't have to.
What am I saying?
No, you're saying you're conceding, and I'm not gonna push it any further. But I know you don't believe it. But it's okay. You don't have to believe it. It's fine.
No,
just say that you like.
I think
just
Mahomes
say that
is
you
the better.
like your. Just say that you like him because he's white and swaggy.
Wait, you said
there's
you
a lot of
Mahomes
tangibles of Burrow that I like that I want in my quarterback. And there's a lot in Mahomes that I want him. You can't lose if you have either one. But
Also, you're a Giants fan, so you don't allow black quarterbacks.
don't
You know,
say
I
that.
think you've been brainwashed into what a
Hate that.
quarterback looks like. You know what I'm saying? So
When
you
we-
know
when we-
that
when we
the
get-
thing
when we
is
get
that
Lamar
you
and we
know
go- and
you know
when
that
we win a chip
but-
with Lamar, you're gonna eat those words.
No, what you're doing is that you know the only one of the two quarterbacks that would actually be allowed to quarterback the team is Joe Burrow. So what you're doing, this is what my quarterback looks like.
I like Burrow a lot. I'm sorry.
I would have thought that you would have love for Mahomes because his pops was a
His
Met.
pops is a Met fan. His pops is a fucking G. Thank you for sending me that video. But
His
yeah,
brother's a G too.
No, he's not.
Why not?
What you? I'm not gonna say it.
Yo, don't hate on my guy Jackson Mahomes, man. That's my guy. He's better than his brother and Burrow. All kidding aside, though, yo, why the fuck is he so tall, bro?
who?
That motherfucker
Where-
gotta be at least 6'8".
Yo, can
Ooh.
y'all hold on? Can
Patrick
y'all
Mahomes'
pause-
brother.
Can y'all pause this conversation so I can switch over to my phone because my laptop's about
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Wait, so you
say
don't
nothing.
know Pat Mahomes' brother?
My son told me about him, but isn't he like Pajarito?
He's a TikTok phenomenon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, my son told me about him, but I never watched.
But the only thing I'm saying is, yo, anytime you see them in pictures, bro, this motherfucker towers over Mahomes, over Patrick.
Should have played basketball, be a DE or something.
I actually think I did read something about that. He was trying to play basketball for. I think he played in high school, and I think he wanted to play for college or something. I was reading about that shit.
Is he younger, a lot younger?
He's not that much younger. I think he's either in college now or he might have just graduated college. He's not that much younger. I would say if I had to guess, I would think he's maybe like 4 or 5 years younger.
It's safe to say he's not his father's favorite son.
I don't know. Maybe
He's like reaping the benefits. Like, yeah, he's the one.
But that's the thing. All kidding aside, I do feel kind of bad for him just because it's like, it's the type of thing where it's like, yo, you know, that it's hard to live up to that when that's your brother. You know what I'm saying? And like, I haven't been following him closely enough, but I feel like sometimes like people's family, like they can't just live, you know? Like, whatever he is or whatever he wants to do, you're like let the kid live. Yo. Like everybody don't gotta hold him to a certain standard just because they know how famous, they know his brother is famous and they know what his brother is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like why do he gotta be like? Why can't he just live and dance on TikTok and do dumb shit like everybody else? You know what I mean? Just because Patrick Mahomes is his brother, he doesn't get to live his life.
Him right there. Yeah, I feel you. He'll be the greatest TikToker. How about that?
He's way better at TikTok than his brother. I don't think his brother has a TikTok.
I think I was cutting out, but I saw this thing. You were doing this thing right here, kind of.
Yeah.
Cheeks.
Yeah.
And that was that's what I meant by that's what I was starting to go towards when I said
Yeah, we are live, by the way, so just be careful.
Yeah, no, I just said pajarito.
Be careful. I care about you. We are live.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Now, you know what time it is, right?
Dun, dun. Oh no, we're not doing picks this week.
What do you mean? I thought you said we're gonna pick the the flag football game.
If you think I'm gonna sit here while you tell me the event, explain it to me, and then tell me who's in it so I can pick the winner, I'm out.
Come on,
telling you
why?
right now.
Are we could do the what dodgeball team is gonna win.
Oh god.
Oh, they're doing that. That's right. I don't even know who's. What we should do is who's the least deserving Pro Bowler. Well, who got snubbed? I honestly, I haven't even followed, man. I haven't even.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention.
I've
man.
only
since the
seen,
playoffs
like,
came,
the,
I just
the headlines and shit like that.
Since the playoffs came, I just been a fan, bro. I just put my feet up after the Giants lost. It hurt me for a little bit, but after that, I'm just enjoying it, bro. I'm not, and the Eagles trying to ruin it for me, and the Niners definitely ruined it for me for that way. But the Chiefs and the Bengals saved me, and I'm back on. I'm very happy for the Super Bowl, even though the fucking Eagles and the Empire State Building are trying to ruin it for me. But
yo, what's up with that Empire State Building thing? You weren't feeling that?
Yeah,
I swear we have to go and protest in front of the fucking Empire State Building. We gotta
You're
get.
You're gonna be up in New York this week, right?
Were they? I don't know.
What?
No, he said you're gonna be up in New York this week.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah, why you didn't tell
I'm
us
leaving.
about that? What's going on? You didn't tell me about that.
I got a show in Philly.
Why you
tomorrow.
holding out?
Nah, I thought I told you.
Nah,
coming.
you didn't. When is the show in Philly? I would have went, but I don't know if I could go now.
The show in Philly is tomorrow, but then I got to shoot back to Brooklyn. I got a show in Brooklyn, so I'm only gonna go to Philly for the first set. Then I'm shooting back to Brooklyn, doing a little. I got this dude is gonna let me do a acapella on his set, and then Saturday we got a show in Terrytown. But it's cool, man. It's chill, you know. I'm gonna be in New York. I'm happy I'm gonna be in New York. We're gonna, have fun. We get a little extra money, you know what I'm saying, and have fun, man. And
wait, so you're gonna be in Philly tomorrow?
We'll be in Philly tomorrow. Yeah?
Oh wow. That's too bad that you. I mean.
Then I gotta be in Brooklyn by 11.
Probably not close enough to the game to.
You driving?
My man's.
Mm.
Oh
have
no!
fun,
what
man.
the hell did I just do? Oh, this fucking thing, man.
Doom, doom, doom.
Oh man, I just ruined this thing. I think. Mother
Live?
Yeah.
I always forget to bring a water, man. Oh.
Water?
Yeah, I got my little refrigerator over here. You know what I'm saying?
Lucky dog.
You know what time it is.
Uh-oh. Quiz?
Who am I? Oh no, that's not yet.
Oh no, not who.
You're so evil.
I'm in an evil mood because I've been listening to Mad Dog do his yearly trivia. Do you know about that?
No.
Every year, after the AFC and NFC championship games, they give away tickets to the Super Bowl on his show. And the way that he does it, he gives away 4 trips. Is it 4 trips? I can't remember. I think it might be 4 trips. I can't remember how many trips to the Super Bowl he gives away, but you got to answer 4 questions. And they do this whole trivia thing. And it pretty much takes up the whole show every day up until the Super Bowl comes. But yo, he just asks random like Super Bowl trivia questions, and when people get the questions wrong, he'd be screaming on them. Yo, this shit's hilarious.
Yeah, I would never go on that. Yo, you know what's funny?
I called in, but I called in, but I didn't make it.
I called one time to DNR, and I never got in. I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. It's funny that y'all bring that up because I was gonna ask y'all if I pick up another show, which one would it be? But I kind of feel like you guys would just
another radio show to listen to.
Yeah.
Other than DNR.
Yeah.
So you listen to DNR every day?
Religiously.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna, you listen to it live, right? You don't listen to the podcast.
I listen to the podcast. I could listen to it live, but I deleted the app. I was at one point listening live, and I was like, nah, I'm too much. Like,
so I feel like if you're looking for another show to listen to, you might as well listen to the Michael K show because if you know what I mean, they like.
That's what I figured y'all were gonna tell me.
Like, I wouldn't recommend you listen to the Michael K show just because I feel like it's not what it used to be, but like I feel like if you're gonna pair it with another podcast and you're listening to DNR already, it just makes sense.
If you're looking for consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they talk. All they do is talk about each other, right?
Yeah.
I really don't want to like hear Rosenberg, bro. I really don't.
Why? Because he doesn't like the Giants?
I just feel like he's such a troll. Like I feel like I can't. I don't respect him. Like what he said. Like the things that I have heard him say. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, man? Like, so, but I'm sure there's got to be good takes in there too, right?
I mean, I think he's found his role on the show well. He says some things that I'm kind of like, dude, just stop. Like, you're embarrassing yourself. But
I can't relate to you.
I relate to him more than I relate to Michael and Don.
Yeah.
But
really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't relate to I don't. I mean, despite what you might think, I don't really relate to like 60-year-old white dudes that well. Even though, you know, I know you look at me, you think this guy, you know, if there's anybody he's gonna relate to, but
bro,
nah.
I never thought I would relate to Rothenberg. I hear
What
and I'm
do you
like,
mean? He's a Mets and Giants fan who's crazy about sports, who is maniacal about his own team,
and he
like,
always is talking about
what?
how his kids playing sports. I feel like it was perfect match.
yeah, but I
If
did.
anybody on,
Yeah, you're right. But I'm seeing him and I'm like, I'm not
physical,
like he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
athletic at all. He's like almost a nerd, but a sports nerd. You know, so it's like
don't judge a book by its cover, man. That's
Yeah,
why
you're right,
that's
you're
why racism exists.
I know. That's
In
why
reverse.
the
DiPietro's
hate on
a
Jackson
man too, though.
Mahomes exists.
But see, it doesn't matter when it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter when. See, the thing is, it doesn't matter when racism you towards him, because that doesn't matter. Now, reverse, when it's him towards you, you know, then we got bigger issues. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Nah, racism is it's
Whack.
terrible. It's whack.
Yeah, nah, but
I don't recommend it.
Put a fucking bulletin right there. Right?
yeah, I do not endorse
Racism
that.
instead of crack is whack.
Racism, circle.
Instead of crack is whack. Racism is whack, whack, whack.
Yeah, nah, but Rosenberg, I feel like he's found his way. At first, I was kind of like, he was kind of clumsy a little bit, but I think he's found his way. He picks his spots well. I think he makes the show better. To tell you the
A lot
truth,
of
the one
people were
person
telling
who's
me-
been making the show whack lately to me has been Michael. But
Oh, really?
But yeah, I mean, don't even get me started. But anyway, I think you're assuming that the music guy, the music Rosenberg is going to be the sports Rosenberg, and I think there's a difference there. That
Yeah, but
I
even the
don't-
music Rosenberg, like, it was so hard for me to like. Once I found out he is like a hip hop head, I was like, okay, I fuck with him, even though I don't agree with a lot of like the shit that he likes and shit. But he does know his history. But I just feel like he's kind of, I hate to say it, but he's kind of like a whack person, and it's like, I don't really want to listen to. Whack
yeah,
people.
but see that's the thing that you're using that. You know,
Mhm.
you're using that and extrapolating it to the sports. In terms of, it's like just say, you know, sports is funny because none of the shit that anybody actually says matters. The opinions don't matter.
Right.
The takes don't matter because nobody's gonna hold you accountable.
Mhm.
Once you say something, the next day you can say another thing,
Mhm.
and everybody has their own favorites. We just did about an hour and a half to 2 hours about Joe Burrow and
How long
and
have we
Mahomes.
done that for?
None of that matters, by the way.
Yeah.
What happens on the field has nothing to do with anything that is spoken. So it's like you have to realize that, you can't take this shit too serious.
Yeah, no,
That's the shit. Sports, that the number one thing everybody has to realize. Sports, it's not that serious.
Yeah,
Once you
You know what's
realize
funny?
that,
yeah.
you're good. You're good.
You know, it's funny you say that. One of my first things when we were talking about doing this, I was like, I'm not much of a like I told you so kind. Like I never like to be like yo I told you I was right. Like I'm not like that. Like I would purposely ignore when I'm right just to not say I'm right. Like, and I know like football, like sports people, like the uh, podcasters are
Yeah.
very like, I told you so. I told you, haha, look at me,
Yeah,
I was right, you were
yeah,
wrong.
but they never tell you about the
When they were
other
wrong,
shit
yeah.
that they
But
don't
that's
tell.
your job. Like that's your friend's job to tell you that. But it's just mad weird. But yeah, anyway, that was actually one of my thoughts. Like,
Yeah,
the,
well,
Yo,
that's
uh,
like when Michael K was
it's
saying that Joe
entertainment.
Judge is going to the Hall of Fame.
how
Yeah,
about
exactly.
Tony Kadarius Tony's gonna be a Hall of Famer once he goes to the Chiefs.
Who said
Bart
that?
Who said
Scott.
that?
Bart Scott.
Oh, yeah, Bart Scott. He's entertaining.
He's just like he's so likable. That's why he's the man.
Is he? Is he likable?
To me
I
at
don't know.
least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
I
likable.
think you like him because the way that he says shit and he doesn't give a damn about after he says it. Like if he doesn't like
He's not a New
somebody,
Yorker, but
he'll
he
say,
seems like a New Yorker.
yeah, because he's from Detroit, which is just like it's
Yeah, him
basically
and
New
Saleh.
York, but it's basic. It's basically New York with broken windows. You know, so like
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and
Well,
like
it-
with trailer parks instead of projects.
yeah,
That's funny.
the cars
this-
you're building.
Well, my fault. Go ahead. Where we at?
Good.
No, you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say something, but it was gonna be too behind the scenes. So
Next week we're gonna make picks, or we're gonna make, I guess, a pick. What happens then? What do you want to do after that? After the Super Bowl is over? See you next season, or y'all want to try to do something else? Because
We gotta talk about something.
I'm gonna keep on. I'm already, thinking about what the next kind of whatever piece of content to just try to like keep the channel going or whatever, or add to the channel. But I'm definitely gonna be doing shit. I don't know if it'll be. I might just do shit. Just like by
Solo?
myself or whatever, or because I don't know if y'all want to keep doing. Or
This is
wanna
my
do
issue.
something different.
It's funny that you brought this up
We
because
should
I
do
thought
because
about.
what I was thinking about was to do some type of reviews of something. Like we could fucking go back and do what I was thinking that you might find interesting would be if we did like music reviews, like review albums, and we could review old albums. Like if you want to do like because for me, I know there's a lot of albums I haven't listened to, and I kind of got this idea from when I was talking to Blancs, and when we had the whole argument about Scarface. Yeah, and he was like, "Nah, you gotta listen to
Oh,
this
what was the
album."
argument?
Huh?
Oh, it was Scarface. Oh, Scarface the rapper.
Yeah, Scarface
Not the movie.
rapper.
Oh.
And he was like,
What was
"Oh,
better,
you
No, 'cause
gotta
the
Scarface
movie-
or Belly?
The movie, every time I see it, gets more hilarious.
Which one?
Scarface.
I love Scarface. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
care.
crazy." But I was
But
like,
when was the last
I
time you
could
saw
do a
it?
review
All the time.
of
Every year,
that
twice a
album
year.
that he told me to listen to. He probably wouldn't like the review that I give, but it would be interesting for me to do a review. I mean, obviously he's not here, but if I was to do a review and we kind of go back and forth about it, that was one idea I had. But you were gonna say something.
Yeah, so it's funny because I actually was thinking this shit like 2 days ago, and I was like, what can I bring to the table? Because I feel like you guys are more well-rounded with sports. I'm like football and that's it. I do want to start taking up the Knick games weekly. So I'm gonna try to make a strong effort for that. But yeah, album-wise, I listened to this last year I must have listened to at least 100 albums. So I'm
Every
definitely.
Knicks game is the same, by the way.
I know, but we win randomly.
Beating Miami.
Yeah, I mean
right now.
music shit, culture shit. trending shit, we could always do shit like that. I'm down for all that. If y'all really want to continue, let's continue. Yeah, hell yeah.
So, do you want to keep the same schedule, or y'all want to break it down to maybe once every 2 weeks, or because I'm down to still keep it every week, but what do I got to do?
I
got
think
nothing
I
better
think
to do. Y'all got kids.
yeah, I
and
think
shit.
once a week is fine, or we could do once a week, and then when there's like a hot topic and there's a window, we send a text, yo, son, Brady came back. Let's get a take on that. Boom, we all get on and we do a take. Hour, you know what I mean? Breathe.
Yeah, I'm down. Frank Reich got hired. What's the take on that? Oh, what's the take on Sean Payton? All kidding aside, what's Sean Payton to the Broncos? We got D'Amico Ryan to the Texans. How many years? I mean, is D'Amico Ryan's gonna be out at the end of next year, just like all the black coaches in
That's
in
so
Texas?
whack.
Oh,
He
yeah,
took that
but,
job, but
I mean, he got. Yeah, I didn't want him to take that job either, but he got 6 years, bro. That's
Oh, before I forget. Oh my God! Thank God I just remembered because this is important.
yeah.
I got something for Kyle Shanahan. And this is a little bit of a piggyback off of the whole conversation that we were having before about when I was saying that I was objecting to the McCaffrey trade, and y'all kind of shot me down, and I respect y'all's opinions on that, and I still see what y'all are saying, and this isn't really about that trade, but Kyle Shanahan got to win a Super Bowl next year. He has to get it done now. Because to me, if I was a 49er fan, at what point is this recipe going to bake a cake? Because we keep on pulling this tray out the oven, and it's either it didn't have enough of this,
It's sticking the
we didn't
toothpick
have
in it.
enough of that, and everybody, Kyle Shanahan gets talked about like one of these, best coach in the league type status. And again, going back to resume, where's the hardware? Where's the results? Because this is a guy who has had good teams.
hardware.
And
As in, where is it?
yeah, and honestly, so much of his, you could look at it like, oh, he's been so unlucky, so much misfortune. But so much of that is self-inflicted, because you could even go back. What was one of the first things that Shanahan did when he got to San Francisco was trade for Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people forget that that's the first quarterback he traded for.
Mm-hmm.
That was way before Trey Lance. They traded to get Garoppolo. He wanted Garoppolo over there, and then just after a couple of years, he's done with him. Garoppolo wasn't good enough. He can't get it done. Okay, fine. I won't
He saw
even
the ceiling.
Huh? Yeah, you saw the ceiling.
He saw the ceiling, man.
Exactly. He saw the ceiling, and if he was ready to move on, I could respect that. But, at what point is it going to be no more excuses? Because now, you've completely depleted this team of assets. You have
Future.
no kind of room to build depth on the roster. So injuries hurt you way worse than they hurt anybody else, because you have no roster depth, because you've sacrificed so many assets. And that's again, that was my problem with the McCaffrey thing. That was the argument I was making, was that McCaffrey could be a dope running back. He could be head and shoulders above, but we've seen what they've done with running backs that A, are not going to cost you draft capital in a trade, and B, are not going to command the salary that McCaffrey's going to command. And at some point, you need roster depth in the NFL. Like, you can have top flight guys. They just paid Debo. Now they're going to lose Ayuk likely in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? You keep on making these moves, and again, obviously, he's not the GM. This guy Lynch is the GM, but I have to assume that when you have Kyle Shanahan as your coach, you're not making a trade for Trey Lance without getting the blessing from Shanahan. You're not making any of these moves. Like, I feel like he has the clout that he's got his hands all over these decisions, just the same way John Lynch does, and. At the end of the day, they just keep on falling short. And to be honest with you, he's supposed to be Mr. Offense. That defense is what's been kind of carrying them. So, You know what I mean? This is the same guy
He's
who
had
couldn't
two
score any
defensive
points to
coordinators.
stop. He's the same guy that couldn't score any points with Atlanta to stop the bleeding when Brady had the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. He has that on his resume too. And at what point is he going to start winning? Like, at what point is he going to get it done? He just keeps getting lapped. He keeps getting, not lapped, but he keeps getting passed by these teams. Now the Eagles are better. Go ahead.
I agree to an extent. I think 2 more years. I don't think next year. I think if next year he doesn't make the playoffs, then maybe we could talk about. But if he gets to the NFC chip again next year, because playoffs is a notch on your belt. NFC chips is a notch on your belt. Again, his general manager, even if he is influencing, Lynch would be taking the bullets for that. So I think I understand what you're saying, but I think he got another tool.
Well, I'm not saying that he needs to be fired. I'm just saying if he doesn't win the Super Bowl next year, I don't want to keep hearing all this nonsense about how great of a coach he is. Like, we're gonna have to drop him.
I'll give you that.
Like, if he even
in the next 2 years,
if they make the playoffs, if they lose in the NFC Championship game again next year, he's gonna stop looking like so much of a genius, and he's gonna be Marty Schottenheimer, like the guy that can't get it done because
he got to attend a Super Bowl within the next 2 years. Yeah. Or you saying win it?
Nah, I think he needs to win it. I think he needs to win it. They keep falling short. Like, to me personally, I've always thought he's a good coach. But I'm starting to look at it like, yo, you keep on collecting all these toys, and it's not translating. It's not advancing you. Like I said before, if McCaffrey was going to be the difference between going to and winning the Super Bowl and not, if he's the piece, but I never saw him as the piece because they had a good running game. And when you keep making these sacrifices now, oh, wait, we don't have quarterback depth. Oh, wait, we don't have depth at these positions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo,
you can't fault him for being on the fourth quarterback though.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't fault him for being on the fourth quarterback, but I can fault him for not having more depth, just in general.
Yo, what about
but depth where though?
Because I feel like depth at quarterback because he had 3 quarterbacks.
He's on his third, yeah.
But also here's the other thing, right? We can say he's on his third, right? But yo, here's another question: why was Brock Purdy even drafted after you went all in on Trey Lance? You shouldn't be drafting quarterbacks after you picked up Trey Lance. Like,
yeah, but it was the last pick though.
I think Lynch.
The last pick, that's fine. Lynch what?
Lynch wanted what's his name, and Shanahan wanted Purdy. No, just.
I just feel like, yo, at what point? I just feel like this roster has been put together in a mad clunky type of way, and I just don't feel like the roster complements what they're doing. I just don't see what they're doing. I don't see what they're doing, and I've kind of like just kind of looked the other way at some of the questionable decisions that have been made over the last couple of years because it just seemed like they were always kind of taking that next step. But now I'm just kind of like, next year should be expectation Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, like, I thought that was
if they're
this
not
year.
A Super Bowl or bust. I thought it was this year too, but we can let you off the hook a little bit because of the quarterback situation.
Definitely.
But that's why I'm saying at the same time, like, yo, you've made a lot of decisions to this quarterback situation. So I only have but so much excuse for you because these are the quarterbacks you were accumulating.
But thank God he got Purdy, I guess, right?
but this is the crazy thing though, is like when you think about it. Shanahan, you're saying Shanahan has to win one in the next 2 years. Right?
I'm saying he needs to win one next year. Cheese is giving him 2 years.
All right. So
I think attended.
So basically that means that Joe Burrow is not going to win one next year.
That's not what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is when we put these type of things on like teams. I feel like sometimes we forget that in one whole year, only one team is a winner. Every other team loses. You know what I say? So that's like
Who was just having this debate? Somebody was just having that debate. Was like, just because you lose a Super Bowl, does that mean should that be such a like a strike on you? Like, you
But to
did
me,
get
it
there.
depends. It depends, right? Because the argument against Brady was always that. The argument for Montana and Brady was always Montana was undefeated at Super Bowls, and Brady had L's on his resume. Even when Brady tied Montana in Super Bowl wins, it was all but Montana never lost. But then once Brady passed Montana, now the way you look at those L's is different. Like, he gets those L's on his resume. It's similar to LeBron and Jordan, right? Because LeBron, he has so many L's on his resume, and Jordan was undefeated in the finals. But after LeBron keeps going and going and keeps on going, then it starts to, it turns a little bit for him. You know what I mean? And once he kind of keeps on adding to the resume,
Because getting to the Super Bowl is a big thing. Getting to the playoffs to some people is a big thing.
because that's what I'm saying. It's like, for example, use Daniel Jones as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see Daniel Jones winning a Super Bowl?
I had this discussion with my mans, and I mean, I've seen worse win a Super Bowl in a different era, but I mean, it'll be tough for me to sit here and say, yeah, I can see Daniel Jones.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, then, oh shit, Memphis and Cleveland rolling into the stands fighting right now.
Oh no!
Oh,
But
Malice at the Dallas.
Oh no way! Seriously?
yeah.
Who is it?
Dylan Brooks again.
What game is that? Oh,
Memphis.
is that on TNT?
Yeah, because I thought the Knicks game was supposed to be on TV.
Oh, yes, right. They play Miami tonight.
But,
Damn.
yeah, but it's not on TV though.
I got this stupid thing. It's funny because I told myself I'm going to start making efforts to watch Knicks, and they fall on this.
So to get back to Daniel Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically our argument means that then they shouldn't even pay him all that money, because there's no point in being good. The only point is winning a Super Bowl. So if you don't think he could win a Super Bowl,
Well, that's not the argument I was making.
no. This is a separate. Like, what I'm saying is, like, it was my argument that like basically everybody else besides one team is basically a loser at the end of the day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna pay all that money to Daniel Jones, $35 million or above, and if you don't see him, because he's like the opposite of Joe Burrow, you don't see that. Like, you don't think that he's gonna win you can't picture him leading a team to a Super Bowl.
I can.
So
he
it's like,
said he can't, but I can. So speak
To
for
win
yourself.
it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
And for me,
take your word for it.
the only reason
take
I
your
say
word for
Super
it.
bottom
Bowl.
of it, it's like that.
No, I was just gonna say I won't say Super Bowl or bust for players, even quarterbacks. I say Super Bowl or bust for a coach, because, like, for me to go that aggressive on a coach, the standard has to be high, and I feel like Shanahan, and just hit the stature in which he is, how people regard him in the league, I'm comfortable setting a high standard for him. And B, they've been knocking on the door. And C, like I said, for me, head coaches is different because you have your hands on everything, and you're paid, you're paid to win. That the only stat that goes on the coach's resume is wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm comfortable saying for a coach is Super Bowl or bust. I wouldn't have the same thing for a quarterback, especially a quarterback on a team that is not. I don't really know what their, what level of Super Bowl aspirations they have next year. I think you pay Daniel Jones just because that's business.
I think you pay Daniel Jones because are you gonna find something better right away? No. I still think draft one. I still think you could draft because why not? It's not like we're gonna be a great team next year. I think we're still in the rebuilding stages. I think we could surprise, people, but I doubt we're gonna surprise people because people are gonna go off of this year. But I think a lot of that had to do with surprise and schedule. I don't think we're gonna be as fortunate with schedule or surprise next year, obviously. And so I think we're still rebuilding. So I still say maybe draft, but I say pay him because if you do draft a quarterback, you're not going to draft him in the first round because you're not going to have that high of a pick. So maybe second, third round you get a quarterback. Third, fourth.
Well, my point was it wasn't even like that because of course you pay him, but what I'm saying is like it's crazy. It's crazy the way that like it's basically you have to win the Super Bowl or you're not good. And at the end of the day, everybody else loses except that one team.
Yeah.
But at the same, it's like you're paying. If you already know that you can't picture that quarterback winning you a Super Bowl, then it's like, what's the point? Like, is it better to like try to keep going and get one in the draft to see if you can get one of those top guys?
So which quarterback
Obviously,
can
that's like
you
saying,
picture leading the Jets to a Super Bowl next season?
With Hackett.
The only one is Aaron Rodgers, and that's only.
So you don't see it with Carr or Mahomes or
no.
Garoppolo or what's the other?
But I'll take Carr though. I'll take Carr.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you can make
Carr,
damage with
like,
Carr. You can make damage with Carr.
Yeah, but what's damage?
Better
That's
than
the
not
tough
making
thing,
the fucking playoffs 13 years.
See, that's my point. It's like that. It's only for that.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
you're
for
never gonna
anything
get
else.
a Pat Mahomes. Like you're not gonna get a Burrow. You're not gonna get a Tom Brady. That's a rarity.
Yeah, but you stop short of saying you're never gonna get an Aaron Rodgers.
I know I did the Burrow thing on purpose. But yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my point.
No, I'm talking about as off the draft.
But if they don't get Rodgers, then what do? You just play without a quarterback
Yeah,
if
fire
there's not
Hackett
one
immediately.
available to take you to the Super Bowl?
No, you fire Hackett immediately. That's it. Once you don't get Rodgers.
so unreasonable.
I'm being serious. Once you don't get Rodgers, you fire Hackett.
You're being serious?
Nah.
He also fired. He
Might
also
as
fired
well, nigga. You know you're gonna do that.
I agree with you.
You might as well.
He had one. That's like the definition of you had one job. Like, yo,
That's it.
you were here for one reason, bro. Like, hit the road.
Yeah.
But I'm asking Flex genuinely because I see the point you're making. I see what you're saying. Like, you add the quarterback. If the kind of the standard is, can you win the Super Bowl? Can you see him winning the Super Bowl? That's the tough thing because, like, I agree with you that Rodgers is the only one I could see winning a Super Bowl. But, like, if he, for whatever reason, if you don't end up getting him, then where would you go? Because you don't want Carr, it sounds like.
He's the second best option unless you get Lamar.
But that's why I'm saying is like it puts you in a tough spot because then
Give me Carr, bro.
There's
If I can't land Rodgers, give me Carr, bro.
Because the thing is, it's like, all right, I want to watch good football. So to a certain extent, yeah, like he's good for that, but that does at the end of the day that doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Like,
I think it. I mean, I guess this
who
is a
knows-
fan
who
thing.
knows who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
No. I said at the
Anyway.
end of the day, not during the day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like during the day, fine. But at the end of the day, it doesn't result in anything. So I mean, that's just my point. Like there's quarterbacks because if you go back, I mean, I get Matt Stafford, but Matt Stafford was kind of like in that Joe Burrow, like the Joe Burrow thing where like people made excuses for him. So like it wasn't that much of a shocker when you put him on a team that was that good.
Yeah.
But like besides that, it's Brady Mahomes. You know, like
But
Brady Mahomes, and all the other good quarterbacks. You know,
Rodgers,
I think
yeah, like
Peyton.
I don't like Derek Carr personally. Like not as a person, but I'm just saying he's just not my cup of tea in terms of quarterback. I watched a lot of him play, and I feel like he can make really good plays, but I feel like he leaves so much out there on the field so many times by not seeing
Something's off.
guys, missing guys,
Mhm.
and
yeah,
that frustrates me. But I also feel like I would be, and this is obviously coming from a non-Jets fan, but I would be interested in seeing him as a Jet just based off of like last year, what he did. Like, that's not a good Raiders team. And they made it to the playoffs. And not only did they make it to the playoffs, they had a chance to win that game in Cincinnati. Like,
And not to mention the firing of the coach.
We don't say shit about Joe Burrow if he is able to convert that touchdown at the end of the game and the fucking Raiders end up knocking them out. But Joe Burrow is an afterthought. We don't even know who he is.
yeah.
I'll give you that.
I mean,
And obviously, he didn't get it done, so maybe that right there tells you exactly
But this
what
is the
Derek
thing, though.
Carr is. But I feel like that I don't think that Raiders team, top to bottom, was as good as the Jets roster will be going into next year. Definitely not at receiver. The Raiders receivers
but you know what the
last year were
problem is?
trash.
Like the thing is, it's like it goes back to the original argument. It's like you have to see it to be able to see it. So, for example,
Wow,
like with Derek
it's
Carr,
amazing. You have to
That
see
just-
it
you can't.
to be able to see it.
Derek Carr, you don't imagine it because you haven't seen it before.
Write that shit
Aaron
down.
Rodgers, you can imagine it, even if it doesn't even matter if like if that's the case. But you've
What if
seen
you
it happen before. You've seen it happen before.
But you know what I've seen
So what if
happen
you see
way
it with
more
us?
than I've seen it happen is Rodgers choke in a big spot. We don't need to get into the Rodgers conversation, but if you want to talk about what I've seen from Rodgers and what I have and what I haven't seen from Rodgers, I've seen Rodgers fail at time after time with better teams at home, bigger spot. Like Rodgers' playoff big spot resume is garbage. I know we've seen him do so much. We've seen him make so many mesmerizing, enchanting, incredible physical plays, and we love to watch him
Statistically, too.
play. And he has all the regular season stats. He has the MVPs. He has the hardware. He has the resume that
The touchdown
we look at
interception
him, He's
ratio.
gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So you look at it like he comes to my team. That's my best chance to win a Super Bowl. But the reality is, if we're talking about you need to see it before you can see it, I've seen it with Rodgers, and I've seen him fail and fail and fail
Yeah,
and
but-
fail
but
in the
you're able-
playoffs. Like that's
but
just
you're
He got
able
one.
to say
He got
you're
one.
able
though.
to say that you're able
he
to
got
say
one.
that
He got one against the
because
Steelers.
you've seen it. You're able to say that because you've seen it. So that's the variance where like, okay, fine, yeah, you're not going to expect it, but you know that the possibility is there. With the other ones, it's just wishful thinking because you haven't seen it.
Well,
It's like
yeah, but
you're
it's
trying to
wishful
say like,
thinking either
oh,
way.
if this, yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
facts.
but the thing is like you're saying is like, if this happens and this happens and this happens, then maybe this will happen. You know, like where the difference is like with Aaron Rodgers, it's like okay, yeah, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this. Okay, he's won a Super Bowl. He's lost plenty, but that's a toss. That's a toss up.
Yeah, I feel what you're
The
saying.
thing is
but I
that
just
the
feel like
last
you
outing-
can make
You've
the
seen his
argument
last-
either
you've
way.
seen both outcomes.
I can make the argument that his one Super Bowl was a toss up, and that was just one hot streak that he went on.
And his last
Yeah, but he
outings
did-
have been bad.
But also,
His
how
last playoff outings. have
Yeah,
been
like
bad.
we haven't that Aaron Rodgers that I know, and this is why last. This is why last week I was like, I understand that you can't, as a Jets fan, you gotta brace yourself for what you want and what's gonna happen, and like you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to be too harsh, but the reality is that if you want to be optimistic about Aaron Rodgers, wherever he goes, you can point to. There's a lot for you to point to think that he's gonna be good.
Mhm.
But if I want to be, throw cold water on it, guy, there's a lot I could point to tell you that why would you think this is gonna work.
But that's what I'm saying. That's for everything. So that's what I'm saying. That's what. Like when I said, I can make a case for either team to win the Super Bowl. It just depends on what side I want to take.
Do you get to, if you're the Jets, do you get to this is for both of you guys. If you guys could just give me both an answer.
I'm the big Jets fan here, so you can direct this question.
If you guys, at least you guys know the Jets well enough. If you add Rodgers to the Jets, are you a playoff team?
Yes, 100%.
If you add Carr to the Jets, are you a playoff team?
100%.
Probably.
I think probably also, and I agree with you
No,
guys.
it's not probably. Are we talking about this year, or are we talking about forecasting next year?
I was talking about forecasting, but okay, that's a better argument.
I thought you were talking about this year, like if they played for them this past year.
That's why you were so sure. Yeah, because I agree with that too. But okay, let's say that
if it's like you said, then
so that's the goal, though. The goal is to get to the playoffs because you have a shot.
It's a toss-up.
You have a shot, even though
Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
something like that can happen. You know what I said? Like something like that can happen when you're in the mix. That can't happen unless you're in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know I do agree, and I think that Rodgers is the best option. But I don't think he's as better of an option over Carr as you. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is as good as a lot of other people do at this point in his career. I guess that's really what it comes down to. Like, my thing is that, like, Rodgers will need to be, for everything that you want to happen, or you want him to be that guy who, you could see him leading whoever he plays for to the Super Bowl next year, he needs to be better than he was this year.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting this year's Rodgers, this year's Rodgers is he's average. He's fine.
But this average Rodgers would have got this Jets to the playoffs.
Of course, yeah. That's what
I'm saying.
Averaging Rodgers.
Yo, I mean, there's more quarterbacks who wouldn't take them to the Super Bowl, to the playoffs than, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, there's more that would than that wouldn't.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Because, like,
yo, I really gotta go though, man.
I gotta go too. All right, signing off next week. Next week is a big week. There's a 4-point gap, so this pick really counts. I don't think you realize that Flex had caught up. I didn't realize until
I knew something was going on. But I was like, I'm cool with it.
I didn't realize it until that.
Gotcha. What? I had you right where I wanted.
All part of. Well, I got you both right where I want you. All I need to do is to get. I need to get the score right, the pick right, the points right. Everybody who's going to score a touchdown. Frank Reich, everything. And next week I'm gonna have some real serious Super Bowl trivia for you.
Yo, I hope I get to see you when I'm in New York.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna hit you up for sure. Maybe when you're in Brooklyn or whatever.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right,
signing off.
Bet.